into online. But, that's that. So my home life is different. And I've adapted, to the hospital setting. At first, I didn't really want to talk to anyone. And, then I made friends. And then, because it is a rehab, many people are short-term. So they leave, and then more people come. And so you get an influx of new people all the time. Some with amazing lives and amazing stories, and become good friends. And then there are some that just come in and out intermittently. Most of the time, you get people that come in and out, and it doesn't matter how much of a bond you think you have with them, they don't call, they don't write, they don't remember you after it. Which is fine because, people move on, and that's the nature of everything. The goal is to get better and go home and go back to life. Okay, so you have that. So then you wind up kind of bonding with the other people who are close to you, which are the staff. They are meant to monitor you, but also, watch for mood changes, watch for personality changes, watch for social changes, watch for anything. And so you get to know them, they get to know you, and you feel like you're friends with them. The truth is that they're doing their job, and although you might feel a kinship with them, you might feel all that, when you leave the hospital, they're not going to write to you, they're not going to text you, they're not going to become friends. Except for rare instances, which, is amazing. Even those nurses that I thought, were just amazing, still have lives and have families and everything else, so you can't fault them for that. So I've joined this support group for people who have spinal cord injuries, and it's nice, and it's not, I hope that it becomes more of a thing, but everyone has different lives, and it's so similar to you, and this is not just that. I haven't given that a chance, so I can't talk about that yet, but other settings where they have similar disabilities or things like that, you're so similar, or you all are in the same boat, that everyone only makes friends with each other. And like, I've had other friends that don't do anything, don't go out, don't go to movies, don't go anything, because of their limited mobility, their limited friends, their limited everything. We're all in the same boat, so it's hard to keep friends and maintain friends. Because again, if you guys have nothing really to talk about, it's kind of stagnant and stale, and it's hard. Or you don't have the same lifestyles, and it's just very different. Either you're left behind, or you're the one that's going, and they're left behind. So it's hard. So it's different. And just because you have the same ailments doesn't mean that you guys have the same lives necessarily, or the same ideologies. So it's difficult to meet friends all around. And then friends who are not disabled, it's hard to identify with them. Example, I always try and be the social butterfly in my group, whether that be in school, church, settings like that, and also jobs. It's great, but only when you're there do they consider you a friend. Because of the disability aspect of it, it's hard to go clubbing if they have to make sure that, I'm taken care of, that I have help. It's hard to let yourself go. It's hard to do certain things. And this is just from younger people like myself. Or when they get a little older, they have lives and families, and so it's hard to keep things the same. Plus, equipment and things like that, if you can't go into other people's cars without a wheelchair ramp, well, it's hard. It's very difficult. And a lot of people don't want to make the investment in a new relationship like that. So it's difficult. It really is. Unless you make this amazing connection, it's hard. So there's all these socializations that leave you developmentally delayed in the sense that you don't have the same experiences and relationships as everyone else. So you cling on the relationships you do, and you're constantly in the realization that someone's probably going to get tired of you or move on, or you're going to move on from them. And so it's very isolating, and it's a perpetual cycle. In elementary school, everyone was a child, so we were all on that same platform. In middle school, everyone kind of paired off into boys and girls, and, people don't often see someone like me with a boyfriend or a girlfriend or whatever the situation is. Even though, that's, we're not going into that section of conversation. It's very different. So that's where the cutoff ends and your social life changes. So even though they're friends at school and we eat lunch and, maybe you're invited to a few parties, it eventually gets smaller and smaller and smaller. High school, again, you have lots and lots of friends, but no one's really inviting you to the dances and the socials. No one's inviting you to homecoming, prom. In college, for many, it's isolating because either you can't live on campus, or if you do, there's also these rules and there's limits. You can't go partying, binge drinking, whatever it is the case, or these people also have to help you. And I don't know what it's like for being a guy, but being a girl, it's hard too. Because, you want to go off with the girl, the boyfriend or whatever, or the frat party, and you're going to get left behind eventually because you can't keep up physically. You just can't. And so you're kind of going to be left behind. So this is a perpetual state. So being in the hospital, where you do make friends with at least the staff or with the friends you do have, it's isolating to a degree, but you have people that come in and they do say hello, how are you? They look after you. They come in the morning and they wake you up and they, see you throughout the day, and, they know how you are doing, and it's just a really nice feeling. You feel like these people are your friends, and you kind of don't want to leave that environment. And so it becomes kind of a confliction in yourself, because yes, you want to get better, you want to go back to life, you want to be with your family, you want to be with your friends, and you want to go back to the things that were, but you made all these friends, and you know that once you leave, that's it. You won't know them anymore. They will be people of yesteryear. They will be people that, will call you in a week, things like that. So it's really conflicted. So you don't want to say you like it here, because nobody wants to say, yes, they like being in a hospital. That's weird. No one likes to be poked and prodded and stared at and, have nurses and doctors around them. But at the same time, this becomes your home away from home. And so it's a real struggle. And I wonder what other people have to say about this, if you've experienced any of this sort of situation. And I know it's different for individuals with disabilities because, like I said, the socialization is very strange. And this happened even in school, where if I was not performing well, I would be put in a special needs classroom. And although I might have gotten the help that I needed, I was taken out of the general population where my friends were. So once I left there, they stopped coming around. They stopped asking about me. They stopped wondering about me. And then I felt like I was left behind in that respect. And then when I bounced back into regular, and even if this was within the same year, you were still socially behind. because you weren't around during Christmas time, or Valentine's, or anything like that. Or you have that stigma around you, unfortunately still, where you were put in the special class, and there is a stigma, and it's, you're put in the, quote, retard room, or you're put somewhere where, it's an us and a them. So you have to make up for it socially by either doing well in school and trying to prove to yourself that you're not in spec ed, you're not like that, even though you are, and there's nothing wrong with it. Or you might act out in a sense of, oh, this is all a joke, I'm going to make so much effort on socialization that I'm going to leave academics in the dust. And so it's a back and forth. It's a back and forth that is a cycle. And so it is hard for people like me to make friends. And so, because I've been in this hospital so long, I'm feeling very conflicted. And again, I am not under the misunderstanding that these might or might not be my friends. They might have a fondness for me. They might even consider themselves friends. But at the end of the day, each one of these individuals are getting paid to take care of me. They're getting paid to be pleasant. They're being paid to do whatever it is they're doing. And even if they're not being paid to, quote, like me, it makes the process easier if we all get along, because we are all on a journey. So, I'm having real conflictions here, and it's very isolating, and so I'm giving this support group a chance, which I hope it helps. And so that's basically where I'm at. There's just so many things that go into hospital life that I hope to share with you all here, with these new vlog series that I'm doing. And I'd love to know what you guys think. Thanks a lot.